Hi everyone, my name is Moonshine and I'm the host of today's AMA with Standard in Gold, which I would be referring to as Stand throughout this AMA. And this is a next generation platform combining physical gold with blockchain technology. So we are going to see how the team intends to do this transparently, secure, and on-chain real-world assets ownership. So we'll be covering different aspects of what this project has to offer. And we have Oliver here with us. So, Oliver, would you kindly introduce yourself and probably walk us through the team behind your project?
Well, one more time, thank you again for having me. I'm Oliver. I'm the founder and the CEO of Standard in Gold. And our goal was from the very first beginning, a couple of decades ago, that we create a system which is based on real value. From our point of view, and without to insult anybody or to offend anybody, but fiat money and all the other money systems we are now seeing rise from the scratch are based on one issue. They're made by man. And everything what is made by man can be just copied or can be faked, or you can replace it or whatever. And especially you can increase the amount of the asset, which is just defining the money. And I realized pretty soon in my life that people didn't understand one important thing, or better say, they forget it. And this is fine. In our place, you just get really difficult gold, dedicated, especially allocated by its serial number, and it's not that you just own a number in the net or in the cloud. You just own real physical gold, but you are using the blockchain to manage your gold. So we just turn the page, or better say, turn the story, and say, okay, blockchain, very fine. Whoever would like to accept it as a value storage shall be. Everybody can decide by himself. But in our case, we decided just to use the blockchain as what it is, as a register and as a tool. So we are now doing the exactly opposite. You are using the virtual world to manage real assets in the real world. Gold is just the beginning, and we are going for more. There is a lot incoming.
Thanks so much for that very great overview about what you guys are trying to build. And I think something interesting I saw on your website while I was going through it is that, the white paper repeatedly emphasizes that users are not buying crypto, but rather tokenized ownership of physical gold. Now, legally and operationally, where exactly is the line drawn between a blockchain token, a warehouse receipt, and a digitally transferable commodity ownership certificate within what you guys are trying to build?
Well, the most important, how shall I say, difference, yeah, it is the difference, is that gold is just in a real world an asset, okay? Cryptocurrencies, for example, are just made by man, and it's virtual. In the end, it's fiction. And let's keep it clear, and I'm just only honest. And again, without to insult or offend anybody, but cryptocurrencies and how shall I say, trading with them is just like an online game. I'm not saying casino, okay, but there is no really usage in real world economy. It just, in the virtual economy, and it becomes just a bubble where since more than a decade, people trying to use, their currencies, the cryptocurrencies, to buy something. And it's pretty hard. But I can imagine if you go somewhere and ask them, may I please pay you with gold instead of fiat? Many people will accept it. And that's the most, important difference, that acceptance. It could be, when the last Bitcoin is mined in 2130, that the people say, okay, we are going to accept it. People like Elon Musk even don't believe that there will be still existing money or something like money. But for the time until 2140, I suggest that we rely in this, how shall I say, overlapping time in the beginning of a new era, that we just rely on assets we know it will just definitely keep its value, where we know it just definitely will not lose purchasing power, how it's done with any kind of currency, just only, a real live assets, not even shares by some companies or stock, I'm just talking about real physical assets which we do not are able to copy or just to create by ourselves. This is something, which is the most important difference. Currencies are coming and going, so will crypto as well. We don't know what the people in 2200 will use for payments, but gold was 6,000 years ago already just a payment method, or just a asset for payments, and gold will definitely hold this. And what's pretty important, because many people are just keen on crypto because they know the value is increasing every time somebody is buying. That's why we created the stand. Everybody is welcome to go to the homepage www.standardingold.com. There you will see under features the different units, and the stand is a unit which is just able to increase in the gold which is underlying, and also falling, like like BNB, Ethereum, based on supply and demand. So it's also possible that you buy a unit of stand, let's say for $1,000, and in a couple of years it's maybe $1 million. This is absolutely possible because it's simply math. But we still are based on a real time, on a real world asset. Everybody is criticizing fiat money because of the issues it has, and also people are afraid of central bank digital currencies which will come. Unfortunately, I don't see a difference between central digital currencies and a lot of the cryptocurrencies out there, because people think it's not possible to block or something like this based on the technology, where I would like to enter just the topic because it's too bright, too wide to talk about it, and it's too deep, to go down the hole and discuss everything. But to come back to our system, we just keep it pretty easy, pretty clear. We have units like the stand, which many people will be interested in, because you just put a little bit money in and have the big chance to get more out than you put in. Then we have the classical units like Solid, which is the very first unit you get when you buy gold in through our dashboard. We also have an app on Apple and on Android, which means Google as well. So you enter and get Solid when you enter our system, and then you can classify it into stand, or just to classify it into, for example, GATS, what reminds on the old Austrian shilling, which is a formerly European currency here in Austria. And we just use to fix it by its weight. So, we took every old currency from Europe, which is just replaced by the euro, and or better say, fixed the weight of this unit, so people can easier handle it. For example, for more easy understand international way, when we also have just the GUSD, because I have not released him yet, based on the actual political situation. But we have it, but just only for easy understanding. You cannot get it now, maybe in future, but just only for understanding. We just use the value of $1, and I'm talking about purchasing power. We fix it in a weight. For example, dollar should be right now something about 0.028 grams, something about. And we fix this weight, and now we know forever how much a dollar is in value, because it's based on physical weight. So nobody can copy it. Nobody can, how shall I say, extend it. You can't do anything in the bad way for the wide mass, for the crowd, for the people, because this is just something, we rely on the scarcity of gold. And back to you. I'm not sure if I'm not here anymore, or just our moderator is gone. Okay, however, if you can hear me and our host just has maybe connection issues, let me finalize maybe some.
Can you hear me now?
You're back, okay.
Yeah, so I lost you towards the end, but I can hear you now. So thank you very much for that very extensive picture about what you guys are trying to build. And I definitely agree with the first statement you made, likening crypto to really not like a casino, but definitely that's why even we always tell investors to do their own financial research, because we don't give financial advice over here, because we know how crypto fluctuates and all of that. So thank you very much. So I think another question I wanted to ask was about the daily return calculations. Now, I saw on your website that it mentions that these returns for industrial gold coins would be 1 year waiting period. So why was this distribution model chosen? And is it designed to encourage long-term economic alignment rather than short-term speculative behaviors from investors?
Look, the industrial gold coin is something, I need to maybe start with my career. I started with 20 pretty soon after school. I started in a security company, but not a security, for clubs or so, just for value transportation, money, gold, and so on. Also, we had a lot of contacts to banks, and let me put it this way, a high rulers in the financial market. Now the point is, I was becoming with 24 a branch leader in a bank pretty soon, and with 27 I was just the sales director in a home saving company. So I really know, the business from its scratch. And especially I know what's and spoken behind closed doors. I realized that people are not really needing, or banks are absolutely not needed, that you're able to invest in a real life business, for example, in a bakery or in I don't know, a garage or wherever. And the point is that the bank takes in the end the big amount as their own salary and provides the people only with a couple of percent of the income. So when you would like to buy a share in old times, you just bought a part of the company. I mean, the company was doing some earnings and making some profits. Then you get your share based on the size of your share of the company. And this is just gone away. We can see it right now, really pretty happening with crypto as well. Bitcoin doesn't need a bank. Bitcoin doesn't need an ETF, but everything just arises because people understood how they can make money with. My idea was, let's connect the people who have the money with the people who would like to work. And the IGC is just the industrial gold coin, which we will release soon. I'm a little bit, how shall I say, I'm taking care that I do not talk too much up front, but what you can imagine is the IGC is just a unit where you're buying a part of all the companies which are in a pool. For example, you buy the bakery IGC, which means you're investing in all what you invest is going to real life bakeries. And when they make some profits, you get your share. We have the system, we have just the technology developed, everything is fine. So we need no banks anymore that if, how shall I say, a startup needs money, they do not need the bank. We can do it for them. And the most important thing is I can talk only for Europe. I have no clue how it is in Asia or Africa or even in South America. I have an idea about North America, but that's just not our target market for now. Here in Europe, it's so that the big companies are taking over. We have just concerns and how shall I say, grocery stores which become, or better say, they are fading away because everything is entered in the supermarket, and now we have just the time quality or just the moment in history where we are clicking on an app and our purchase for the next week is brought by somebody in front to our door. So, I think it's pretty important for the future and especially for future generation that we are just not losing our small and middle-sized businesses. Because, this is just a foundation of our wealth in the end. The wealth is not made really by big companies who are just maybe need 10% of the stuff which a small business needs in ratio, if you compare it in percentage. That the people are not losing their jobs, that the wealth is still staying. We are creating just opportunity for startups or for old businesses who would like to try it again or just renew their businesses. We can provide them with just lenders, or better say lenders is false, because they're investing in your business. And I explained already, the advantages of the guy who is holding the IGC. You are getting a share of the profits of the companies we are investing in, and the self-employed partners. So the guys who are really running the operative business, the bakery, the garage, I don't know, the grocery store, whatever, even farmer, why not? They have just the advantage. They get everything paid. They have no loan, they have no credit, there are no interests to pay, just only a share of the profit if there is some. And I think, this is something which will pretty change the behavior and the mind of the people when they understand everyone is able to be owner of everything, and everyone is able to start his business, just need to tell us and to make a small commercial on our platform which is coming, and let's see how the crowd decides. Because what we also have, I know it's a lot what I'm talking about in so short time, what we also have created is a voting system. So with the IGC, which will come soon, and you own one, you are just not only the owner, okay, you are just also in the end the real boss. So it's not just a share like on stock exchange you can buy, you are buying really to participate into the company, and you have your own vote. Doesn't matter how much units you're holding of the IGC, you have one vote. Every person, one voice, one vote. So we decide together if we would like to finance this new baker, for example, or if we don't want to finance him because of any reason. This is just, direct democratic, direct democracy, where we just can let the holders really decide what we are going to do next. And also every question of how we are going to lead the company so that the IGC is successful and we do some profits. You just have the opportunity to say your election that you just vote as well for every single decision what we are going to do as company. But the operative business is just done by the partner who is running, the bakery, the garage, or the shop, whatever. So, it's not just in what I would like to say when we are starting with the IGC. You're not entering the world where you're just expecting that somebody is going to buy this asset and it is increasing. No, you are expecting that the baker is selling bread and that the butcher is selling meat, and that, the, I don't know, fashion shop is selling some shirts and trousers, skirts, whatever. This is what you are then expecting. So this is what makes the money. Not just only the entrance by new people and new participants, just real economy and real commerce on the world where we are just expecting our share. I hope I just explained it in the easy way. It's of course a little bit more, but in the end you can imagine, and you just need to keep few words. First of all, the business, or how shall I say, the guy who's running the operative business is just not in debt. He has not to pay any rates. He has not to pay any interest. He can just start, work, and rely his mind and focus only on the business, not on some issues or troubles with financial things. On the other side, we just have the partners who just participate with entering and giving the money. And they are just in advantage because they are not investing in just only one company. They're investing in a pool of the same industry. So baker in the bakeries, for butchers in all butcheries, which are in our pool. And the next thing is he is expecting of the profits his share. So it's a win-win situation and nobody is under pressure. And then you need to understand that we can have, for example, just the situation that the staff owns bakery IGCs. What means if they work in a bakery, they're working in the bakery and are also the owner of the bakery and get just their share based on the IGC amount they're holding. I hope it was not too complicated.
No, it wasn't. I really want to just appreciate how you tend to break the kind of framework or structure that you guys are trying to build. I'm sure the way I listen and understand is the way most of our investors who are listening will definitely be able to grab what you guys are trying to build in your ecosystem or in your economy, just like the way you guys put it on the website. So really, really appreciate that. So the next thing I would like you to walk us through is the stand coins, or should I say the stand token. So how is the structure of your tokenomics? How do you incorporate the token, or should I say the coin, into what you guys are trying to build?
Okay, look, the stand in the end is the blockchain. So like BNB is the blockchain of Binance. Okay, the stand is how you call it, the token or coin. It's on our side, but we say just unit because we are going to, we would like to separate us from cryptocurrency projects. We are just a crypto project because we are using, from our point of view, the blockchain, what it is for, just as tool to help us in the real world. It's just a virtual tool for the real world. And when you're handling on our blockchain the units, you're handling in real life physical stuff, things. In our case, gold, later some different things, but we are right now starting with gold, and we will see what the future brings. But let's come now to the stand. The stand is a technical unit, which means in the end, you can imagine it like, let's stay in BNB and Binance, since I already mentioned it. It is with the solid, which is always 0.1 gram of gold in a function algorithm, which is based on X times Y is K, which is, based on supply and demand. So to put it in a simple and easy way, when somebody is buying stand, in the end, you can exchange only solid into stand. So when you get some stand, the value, which is just underlining, the real gold, is underlining the stand. The stand is just only a mechanical thing. We're talking about things that are happening in the real world. In the real world, the amount of gold is just increasing with every purchase of stand. So like it already from the crypto sphere. So when you buy, for example, BNB, then the price for BNB is increasing. And in our case, the amount of gold is increasing. So we are talking about weight. And of course, when the weight is increasing, also the money is increasing. You are expecting when you're selling the gold back to us. So in an easy way to say is, you buy, the stand is going up in price. You sell, the stand is going down in price. This is something that people will say in the easy way, but in the end, it's the gold which is increasing and becoming lower when somebody's selling. And the stand, very important, as I said in the very first beginning of the explanation, is just a blockchain. So you need stand for the transaction fees, like gas fees in cryptocurrencies. You just pay in stand the transaction cost. So when you would like to send your solid, which are showing an exact amount and especially signed to you allocated gold. So when you send your stand or your solid or whichever unit you would like to put on another blockchain, or just to send somebody for present or for exchange for goods or services, then you will need stand, because stand, one more time, is just the unit you pay the gas fees.
Great. I think this gives a clearer picture. Thank you so much for walking us through that. Thank you so much. So the next aspect I wanted to ask about is regarding partnerships. Are you guys prioritizing relationships with vaulting providers, or like payment infrastructure companies, fintech companies, or traditional financial institutions first? Or which category do you personally believe is most critical for scaling the ecosystem?
Look, we are just in deal. We are very in dealing and negotiations with how shall I say? Let me put it different. We are just right now using, because you can imagine banks and card providers are not really happy with our system because they will be unnecessary at all. So we needed just somebody for on and off ramp. How the people can pay and how they can get paid out. Actually, we are doing this with Paybis, but Paybis is facing some issues. I'm not going into deeper, but we are not happy with them anymore. So we're going to work with an Asian company, and through this partnership, we can now pretty soon in a couple of weeks. I'm not talking about months, I'm talking about weeks. We can offer that you, for example, take your profits on cryptocurrencies and enter real life asset gold in our home, in our place. So what I want to say is we are also building, in the end by accident, an exit strategy from cryptocurrency, where you can take, let's say, Bitcoin, because it's the most known coin. You can just exit Bitcoin by entering to real physical gold, and exit gold entering to Bitcoin again, and it's for you and for all other users a big advantage, because you need no bank, you need not to cash out the Bitcoin in fiat and purchase in purchase with fiat the gold, and opposite in the other direction, you sell the gold, get the fiat, and buy Bitcoin if you would like to. We are doing this directly. And to compare it, for example, with some credit cards where gold in the end, the receiver does not receive gold if you send your gold or you pay, you just receive fiat money. And that's exactly what we are, or better say, this is just a gap we are closing with Standard in Gold. So in the end, with Standard in Gold and all other cryptocurrencies, when you're already on-ramped, so you have already some cryptocurrency, soon you will need no bank to exit to real life assets.
Great, great, great. I think I understand the perspective you're coming from, because you guys kind of are eliminating most of these enterprises and making it just easy for investors to just reach the platform directly. So I definitely could get where you're coming from. Thank you so much for walking us through that. I can see a lot of questions in the chat, and I can also see some hands being raised. So I think at this junction, even if I have questions, I really want to get feedback from the community concerning what you guys are building with your questions. So, Oliver, are you open to taking questions from our community?
Absolutely. Look, I love hard questions, because you can only realize that somebody's genuine and talking honest if you ask him hard questions. So if there are hard questions, don't hesitate to ask. Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So let's have Jeremy. Jeremy, you have been unmuted. You can ask a question, mate. Okay, Jeremy, try to fix your mic and come back on the voice chat. Let's give you some few network second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Sorry, I was trying to mute myself, but I find it hard. Thanks for meeting me, and thanks for giving me a chance to speak with Oliver. So I'll go ahead with my question. First of all, nice to meet you, Oliver.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too. You're not Jeremy. Sorry, your name is, one more time?
Jeremy.
You are Jeremy. Okay. Nice to meet you. Jeremy.
Yeah, you too. So I'll go ahead with my question, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So basically, I did a little bit of digging, and I saw that Standard in Gold is based on three companies: Austrian, Czech, and UK. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
And you guys share the same phone. You share the same phone number, the same email, and basically you are the owner of the three, and you are the executive board and things like that. So I just want to know from a
that's true.
Yeah.
True. That's true.
So from a customer's base, like customers' standpoint, when you send money, what legal entity actually receives it, and what countries which under the customer's protection?
Look,
Yeah.
First of all, the three companies was necessary, because of the legal law, what they are allowed to do. And the company in London was already registered when United Kingdom was still in the European Union. This was just, unfortunately a match, but good for us, because we just have a company also right now outside of the European Union. What is pretty important is that not every company is doing the same thing. The Czech company is responsible for the systems. So for the IT, for the blockchain, for the dashboard, for the apps, this is just the niche in our construction for the Czech company. The British company is just for communication outside of our company with other companies, and especially with legal law, since London is pretty, London is a good base for companies which are planning to work in the end international and especially intercontinental. London is, how shall I say, is a mix. It's a mix between United States behavior and European behavior. I'm talking only about economics and legal law. So, it's a good point to have there the, how shall I say, the contact point where people can communicate with. And the Austrian company is in Vienna, where I used to live. Which is just in the end, in the heart of Europe, and the advantage of Austria, it's neutral. We are absolutely neutral in geopolitical fights. Therefore, is the United Nations, one of the towers is standing here in Vienna, and one is in New York. New York because it's well known and famous, and Vienna because we are neutral. Why I'm saying this? The gold which we are purchasing and storing is here in Vienna. So, you have the security of a neutral country. You have the security that the responsible guy, which is me, is sitting exactly in the town where the gold is stored. And Austria has absolutely hard laws. And this is just your security that the gold, first of all, is here. We are already in communication with the financial authority, which is just making some troubles and issues. But what is coming next is the fourth company. This is in Lithuania. And the Lithuanian financial authority confirmed that we are in right. So we will definitely move with the headquarters. Also, I'm not making a deal, or I'm not hiding. It's not a secret. We are going to Lithuania because of the taxes. They're more than a third of what we are paying here in Vienna. Even if we move there will be just only the headquarters operating everything, but the gold will stay here in Vienna since it's secure. And it's just for us, since we are here pretty good organized, not a problem even now to send gold to Dubai. That if, for example, a user is sitting in Dubai and he would like to get his ounces, I don't know what he's going to do. We are also not asking why people would like to withdraw their gold or sell it back to us. It's just all your decision. It will be not a problem for us to send it even there through the contacts we are having. Of course, the gold is not really moving by plane. We are just adding here gold to somebody's account, and somebody is using the gold in Dubai and hand it out to the user who would like it to. That's the reason the four companies, and I said the fourth is already registered. I'm just expecting next week the documentation. And with this documentation, we are going to forward. You see, I'm absolutely clear and open to talk about everything in detail, because for me it's important, because of a reason I will tell you after I'm finished after I finish your answering the question. And when they are there, so the headquarters, as I said, will be in Lithuania. We there have already the not the permission, just the confirmation that we are not under MiCA, because we are not cryptocurrency. You are handling real physical gold. This was maybe just a little understanding because we're using blockchain. However, and the functions are pretty same like cryptocurrency, but just in gold. So they mixed it up a little bit. Doesn't matter. And as soon as I get the documentation of the Lithuanian company, where we are now moving with the headquarters, we are going to finalize our contract with the on-off ramp for you. So you can decide you get fiat money or you get cryptocurrency as paid out, or you can enter an on-ramp to Standard in Gold by using cryptocurrency or fiat is just your decision. With this new partner, we can handle this. And that's the reason for the four companies. In the end, it's always me, so it doesn't matter if something happens in England, in Czech, in Vienna, or from now on also in Lithuania, in Vilnius. I'm the responsible one, and I'm not working on Bahamas. I'm not offshore in any other country like Panama or Belize or somewhere where it's more beautiful maybe than here. I'm here where I used to grow up. I'm here where I used to live. And I'm especially here where I am responsible in front of legal law. And as said, it's hard. Why I said you a couple of lines before. Look, Standard & Gold is not just only a company, you know. It was never the idea to build a company which is just making some money for me or doing any, how shall I say, changes in economy only. The idea is that Standard & Gold, when I'm done with my work, belongs to the people. We will find a way how everybody who is user becomes in the end owner, the same way I explained it to the IGC a couple of seconds ago.
Yeah, I'll have to say this. Thank you very much for your transparency.
You're
And
welcome.
yeah, you said so much that every customer that you guys have will love to hear and understand that you guys are not here to play when it comes to transparency and the future of the company. And
Thank you.
putting the customers first is a great way to say that you guys are in control of what the customers want, and I appreciate that. So that's nice. And I have no more questions. You answered mine already, so I appreciate the answer. And yeah, kudos to your to Standard and Gold. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You know, transparency is you say transparency. From my point of view, this is the most important thing. I mean, I'm sitting here in Austria. Somebody of you are already sitting on the other continent, Asia, South America, wherever, you know. So it's not possible to go over the street and say, hey, what you have done. So I show you 100% transparency. You can come to the community on Telegram, on Standard & Gold community, ask the people who are pretty in the beginning, trusted me in the very first beginning, ask them about me. They will tell you about my characteristic, because, you know, I think it's ridiculous when somebody talks about himself, what he's doing and what he would like to do and how he is. So I invite you really to go there and talk to the people, and you will see Standard & Gold is so much more, because, you know, transparency. I didn't like it, coming again to the Bitcoin, I didn't like it that in 2023, the Bitcoin was in most of countries or something around 17,000 US dollars. In Japan, it was 23, and in Nigeria, it was 44. I mean, and nobody can really explain how it really happened, because it's the same network, but I was not able from Austria to sell, for example, my 70,000 euro Bitcoin for 44,000 euro to Nigeria. And this is something where I see, okay, the big companies are taking over maybe something what was really great. The technology is absolutely great for now. But unfortunately, the big players are taking over. And when I see Bitcoin is not anymore what it, how shall I say, was meant to be, then there is only one answer to this situation, and this is that we all together are building the system, that we all together are building our system, and that we all together decide how this is going on. And to be able to do this, first of all, we have to build a system like we're doing now, with one CEO, with the founder and one owner, a guy, which is me in this case, who is ready to carry a high responsibility. But in the end, you know, when it's done, to give it back, or better say, to register it in a new way we maybe don't even have yet, but that it's understandable and reasonable that it belongs to all the people, you know, who are participating.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
I,
thank you so much,
I
Jerry,
already,
for that.
yeah.
Yeah, what you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
No, I just want to say I already joined the Telegram accounts. I already joined the Telegram group. So just saying that to know more about Standard & Gold. I just want to say that. That's all. Appreciate the transparency on. That's what I just want to say.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Really appreciate you coming out with such a detailed question. And that was something that, drew more explanation for us to understand. So thank you so much once again for jumping on the mic. So because of time, we'll be taking just one more question from Benkis. So Benkis, you can go ahead with your question, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I've been listening for some while and I'm listening to Oliver, and that was a great presentation. But my question is, with the level of distrust in the cryptocurrency world now, where people get to launch a project and, after some few, after making their own profits, they get to rug it and the rest of them. I wanted to ask, you know, um, how will the real world people who have been seeing crypto as a scam project, get to trust you with their finances? Because so many of them, when they see this type of project that is lucrative, they would like to, invest their money maybe by selling their gold and the rest of them. How do you intend to build that trust and you know get to tell people that okay, oh, this is not a scam and
Mm.
their money is safe with you?
It's a good question, and from my point of view, pretty simple to answer. Look, I have just built the machine, which means the infrastructure, the blockchain, the storages, the gold purchasing line, because you are not able always to purchase gold, because we are purchasing gold, of course, cheaper than we are selling it, because there are different prices for the traders and for the customers. When you enter our system and you buy gold, you pay, of course, the price for the customers. We buy it for the dealers. And this spread, so-called spread, the difference between the prices, is just our income. So we are not depending that the stand is increasing and we are selling some stand to create our income, or solid selling won't make sense because this is real gold which we own. So we, of course, are holding stand as well, the developers, me as well, and I think everyone who is working at Standard in Gold. And this is just the security for you, because we do not depend. Does the stand increase in value or not? It doesn't matter for us, because we already have our earnings. And this is the security for you, that we are not scamming, because in the moment when we are, for example, not paying out, and we already have paid out, and you can believe me a lot. I'm just talking right now with some solicitors that they say me, if it's legal, if I write on the homepage how much we already have paid out, and especially how much gold we already have handed out in physical form. So we are not interested in. It's pretty cool for every one of you when the stand is increasing in value and you make money. I'm happy for you, but this is not our goal. We never have just created, just a cryptocurrency where we are relying and how shall I say? That's this. It's the only business in crypto, that you create a cryptocurrency and it increases in the price, and you make your money because you are holding your own crypto and selling it. In our case, we are selling you gold, and get our money the very first moment when you just buy it. Our spread, the difference between purchasing and selling price, is already included. So you have no reason to be afraid that we are cheating you, and especially since the financial authority already was in our company and checking what we are doing, because they think we are doing crypto, which we are not doing. It's just the absolutely new system, just only using the blockchain. It's just your security that we are existing, that we are genuine, and the only thing they are just mentioned is that we are crypto. There was never mentioned that the gold is not there, because we of course have proofs that the gold is there, and not just only pictures. We just decline it by their serial numbers. And the next security is that I am not really interested. It sounds a little bit strange maybe, but I'm not really interested in money. Money is nothing what gives me anything. I have just an idea and I see the world with different eyes. And my idea is the IGC, which I explained already. I hope that we can change the world and make it so to a better place. Of course, AI is coming, but I'm going too deep into this topic. Let's come back to the security. Well, that's your security. And especially since we are not registered, as I said already, on Bahamas, like Sam Bankman-Fried, we are here registered in Vienna. And if I do just only one false step, I'll get in prison soon. Because, as I said, that's in Austria. Hard legal laws, but that's your security.
Okay, I hope that answered your question, Bankis. I think we lost you in the voice chat, probably some network issues or connection. But thank you so much for asking that question. So Oliver, I think I want to wrap up the question here. I know I got a lot of questions in text, and I'm so sorry if I wasn't able to get to everyone you, but head to the Telegram channel, guys, Telegram channel, and ask whatever questions you want. I'm sure Oliver and the team will always be willing to take each and every one of your questions. But before I close on the VC, Oliver, is there any final words you like to say before I close on the VC?
Yes, first of all, thank you very much again for having me. And as you said, the team is absolutely happy on the Telegram channel to answer your questions. And also not only the team, because we have just already built a community in the very beginning, which are mostly patriots for their country and would like to see the economy and the e-commerce and also the world becoming a better place. So come to the community, get in contact with some people there. It doesn't matter if it's a team member or just a community member. Everyone will explain you or tell you the same thing because, yeah, that's the point.
All right, we have another AMA in an hour's time. So guys, well to join. Thank you all for joining us.
Bye-bye.